Hi everyone, I'm Pink Quartz, and this is a sacred space for women to reconnect to their divine feminine energy through community, education, and fun. And today I am coming with a talk through video. I wanted to give you guys an update of where I've been. My life has substantially changed in the last 3-ish months that I've been gone from social media. But before I do that, be sure to like this video, comment down below what was most surprising about the things that I've told you, and be sure that to subscribe to my channel and join the family of homegirls. I'm going to be looking down because this is where my notes are, and I want to make sure that I cover all the things that I want to talk about. So let's go ahead and get started. So where have I been? If you don't know what I'm talking about, I took a 3-ish month break or hiatus from all social media, so YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram, everything I'm on, and not just for poll, for personal, just in general. Like, people send me things on social media, I don't see them. I don't reply, I don't see them. It's not even in my field. I literally, today is January 17th, 2025, my birthday, as I'm recording this, and yesterday was my first day on social media in all of 2025. So it's been a complete 3 plus months. But yeah, 3 months ago, I kind of completely disappeared from social media, and I did give somewhat of a warning, but it was more so like, I'm gone, you know, I'll see you guys later. This isn't something that is irregular for me. I usually take a little break at the end of the year because I do feel like social media can be a little bit depressing, a little bit toxic towards the end of the year. And I really felt that it was with this election and all the things going on, and not only the political landscape, but the economy and all the things. I just felt like social media was a bit too heavy for me to be on for those reasons and several other reasons. So I took a break. But what has changed? So my living situation, as you guys may know, I used to live in Atlanta, or I've been known to live in Atlanta. For as long as I've been polling, I've basically been in Atlanta. I moved to Atlanta in March of 2021, so kind of slap in the middle of the pandemic, with my boyfriend, and I had been living in Atlanta for almost 4 years, but in August of 2024, I moved back home with my family in Chicago. So this is a completely different situation that I've been. It's the exact situation I was in before I left to move to Atlanta. So I used to live in a 1-bedroom condo in Buckhead in Atlanta, and I went from a 1-bedroom condo to like a 6-bedroom home of like 10 people, 2 dogs, and yeah, so completely different shift. You guys might have seen some of the videos before I took a break from social media. I was like polling in the backyard. In some stories I might have been polling in my room, but it's kind of small in there, so it's minimal things that I can do in there, but I still do. So why did I move from Atlanta back to Chicago, to my hometown where I was born and raised, into my family home that I grew up in? The reasons are endless. First and foremost, I was in a really bad living situation. I was living paycheck to paycheck, and I was struggling to pay my rent. I was not happy with my living circumstances. There was a landlord that I was renting from, and she had a very weird energy towards me. Like, towards the end of our relationship, when before I moved out, things just really started to get weird. And we would do this back and forth passive aggressive email situation. it didn't feel good to me to be arguing or going back and forth with someone that is literally single-handedly responsible for, you know, the house over my head. And not only was I unhappy with our relationship, I was also unhappy with the repairs that were done in the unit. There was this mold that was in the unit that I was blamed for, but it was a reoccurrence of a mold that happened last year. Long story short, the landlord fixed it herself, but it was more of like a DIY job. So literally like a month later, it's right back to the same exact place it was in the first place. And if you know mold, before it shows externally, it's there internally. Like it's there behind the walls before it peeks out to the other wall. So clearly it wasn't my fault. And with that whole struggling paycheck to paycheck, you know, not really getting support, doing it all by myself, I was completely in scarcity. And because I was so far in scarcity, there was no way for me to like be truly in my feminine, to relax, to flow, to be in my ease, to be in my joy, like my channel is all about. So it just really did not make sense for me to continue to be on social media and continue to be on any of the platforms when I'm not even in alignment with what I'm preaching. Okay. And I'm not gonna lie, moving back to Chicago was very hard for me. I was known, a part of my identity was wrapped up in living in Atlanta. And obviously you don't want your identity to be attached to anything, but I was known, literally known in my family, for my friends, in the pole community for being in Atlanta. And a part of my identity got wrapped around me in Atlanta. So a part of me had to die. Like I had to go through a literal death of the person that I was. And that was very hard for me. I had to do a lot of inner work. I had to do a lot of, you know, healing, meditation, and like really talking to God, talking to myself to get me through that situation. In addition to that, my car got repossessed. So I was in Atlanta by myself, no car, living in a condo, living paycheck to paycheck, and in a bad living situation. So basically one day I called my parents and I was just like, I'm moving back home. And they were like, oh, okay, yeah. And I was like, no, I'm moving back home. So I ended up moving back home. They ended up coming to get me in a U-Haul. The week of them coming to get me in the U-Haul, when I have already decided I'm moving to Atlanta, my car got repossessed. And yeah, the whole situation, it was really tough. Like a lot of me had to die. Like the pole Atlanta girl, the girl with the new 2023 Toyota Camry, like that whole identity was gone instantly, like overnight. So yeah, so it's safe to say because of all that, because of the scarcity that I was in, I was not having fun. Like my pole situation, I was trying to like make videos and be consistent and stay disciplined just to be relevant and just to, you know, show my face and add value to the world, when I really needed to be like looking inside. And I have a saying that like pops up so much in my life, is like, what you resist persists. And I don't like confrontation. I avoid confrontation at all costs. Like if there's something that I have to like confront head on, I'm such an avoidant person naturally. And I can get away with it for the most part, but some things you just can't avoid, you know? I mean, nothing really truly can be avoided. Everything has to be, you know, everything has to be gone through. You have to go through it to get through it. So I was just in so much avoidance, and it just really led to me taking a full-on break. So the fun part, pole was not really fun anymore. In 2022, I became an instructor. And as soon as I became an instructor, my pole journey changed. Like, I went from doing this hobby that I love and I'm so good at to being an instructor and being looked to teach people things and to be knowledgeable and to be an expert. And going from having a hobby to getting paid to do this, it took the fun out of it. And it was fun teaching people, but it was not fun having to like sacrifice my own growth to pull other people up. And I'll be the first to admit I was not ready to start teaching when I did. Obviously I got better along the way, and I'm a way better instructor than I was before, even though I haven't been like instructing people for that long. Well, I haven't been instructing people recently, but I'm such a way better instructor. But it's just because I'm more well-rounded. I have all the foundations down, and you know, I really have done the work within myself before trying to teach somebody else. So yeah, the fun was gone. So it just made sense for me to completely take a break. It was around the time where I usually take a break anyway for the year. Like I said earlier, the end of the year typically is just very heavy. And with 2024 being an election year and all the things that were going on within the political, economic, and social landscape, I just thought it best to protect my peace and, you know, conserve my energy and not spend it on social media. So I deleted everything. I deleted TikTok, I deleted Instagram, I deleted, I didn't delete YouTube, but I stopped posting on YouTube, and I started like only looking at things that were like high vibrational, like, you know, feminine energy and a new hobby, which I'll get into. But yeah, I took a break just to align myself, because I had just went through some major shifts, some major dying, like parts of me that I was so attached to. Like I said, I've been living in Atlanta for 4 years by myself. I was doing the independent girl thing for myself for 4 years, and I was attached to it. It was something that was regular, it was normal. So to do that and to go from, you know, being in a 1-bedroom condo to being in a 6-bedroom house with 10 people, it was a major shift for me, and I had to give myself time to adjust to that. In addition to adjusting to the household, I had to figure out a new way, a new normal, because I was used to my solitude. I was used to being by myself. So like the first month or so, I was being wrapped up in other people's worlds, and I didn't realize, like, when I went home to visit, I had been doing that. Like, I would sacrifice my own meditation and journaling and doing my language and stuff like that to help other people. And I was getting stuck in that trap for like a month straight. And then I just decided, I truly decided, I did the inner work, I read, I've done the things, and I just decided, like, I'm no longer available for XYZ. Once I decided that, if it didn't align with what I wanted to get done in that day, and if it didn't work for me, it was a no. Like, if it wasn't a hell yes, it was a no. It was a hell no. So that happened. And then I started getting really deep into like my inner work. I started getting really deep into like meditating every day, journaling. And I had actually took like a month-long-ish break from pole in general. The whole month of November, I did not go to the pole studio. So that was different. Around the holidays too, you got all the different holidays. I got a lot of birthdays around the holidays, not my birthday in particular, but my boyfriend's birthday and different family members and things of that nature. So I was going out a lot. Not necessarily like out to eat or out to clubs and things like that, but like to other people's houses, and we were eating, you know, Thanksgiving food, Christmas food, cake, and I gained 10 pounds. 10 pounds! I gained 10 pounds. So from moving from Atlanta to moving to Chicago, the whole situation, I gained 10 pounds. So that was like a whole new thing that I had to figure out as well. But my break was really good. I will recommend some books that I had read throughout my break and that I do read when it's time for me to take these breaks. 7 Habits of Highly Successful People highly effective people, I think it is. Lady Balls by Mina Vaughn. I read a lot of novels. I really like romantic novels, so I read things like that when I was taking my breaks. It really brings me back to earth doing that. There's more that I'm thinking of, but I'll leave them in the description box just in case you're interested in, reading, doing some inner work. But whew, baby, the inner work, the reading, the meditation, the journaling, the talking to God, like all of that really saved me, because I was still functioning in scarcity even though I moved out of Atlanta and was not living paycheck to paycheck and was fully provided and supported by my parents. I was still in scarcity. And I don't want to say I couldn't turn it off. I didn't decide to turn it off. Like, I didn't decide until possibly December, late November, early December, to like not be in scarcity anymore. And so, like I told you guys, my car got repossessed. So I ended up getting a new car. Not a new car, but my grandma had a car that she bought in 2012, maybe 2013. Doesn't matter. But it's a 2012 Toyota Camry, and it was just sitting in her garage. And I needed a car, obviously, to move around and do all the things. So my parents helped me, fix the car up, get all the things done, and boom, I got another Toyota Camry, one just like 12 years younger, 12 years older than the one I previously had. So ended up getting a new car. And then after all the car stuff was done, after, I kind of got out of the, let me be associated with other people, let me help other people vibe, and, started really focusing on myself and my energy and pouring into me. Then I started polling again, and this was extremely difficult for me to go back, not because like I hadn't been in so long and but for all of my pole journey, and I'll talk a little bit, I'll do like a about me video as well, but for most of my pole journey, I had been going to classes. Like, I had been going to classes, I had been going to series, I had been taking privates, and I'm in a new city. Like, I'm completely removed from everyone that I used to train with, like Candy, DK, like, all of the people, classes that I used to take, all the studios I used to go to, everything is completely different. Like, I've been to studios in Chicago, two of them, but I haven't trained there regularly, so I had to adjust. Like, oh my God, okay, what am I gonna do? Okay, what type of membership am I gonna get? Okay, if I get that membership, what else do I have to pay for? Okay, I have to pay for parking. Like, how do I park? Should I do Spot Hero? Should I do street parking? Like, da-da-da. It was so many decisions to make, but I landed on a decision. And at the beginning of December, I ended up buying a open pole membership. And with the open pole membership, I wanted to go through all of the things that I learned and really just like get back to being me. I think a lot of us as more advanced polars, we fall into this trap. I mean, when you're a beginner too, more of an intermediate to advanced polars, but it could happen when you're a beginner too. We fall into this trap of just going to class. Just going to class and thinking like, oh, no, I'm fine, I'm going to class every day, da da da. But like, you're consistently learning new things. Like, when you're eating, right? Do you like eat all day? No, you eat meals and then you give your body time to digest that meal, and then you eat the next meal, and then you give your body time to digest the meals. The problem that I was having is I was learning so many things that I wasn't having time to digest the things that I was learning. So I had to figure out how to teach myself. Like, I revisited so many things, and I had to figure out how to teach myself things that I was interested in learning, which was easy for me. I've always been teaching myself since I started pole, because I am a pole instructor. I did start learning at home. I wasn't one of those studio babies, you know. I started at home in a home pole. And I just had to find a new normal. I had to normalize me teaching myself and me being solely responsible for my pole journey, and not relying on any courses or any online training or any specific instructors to bring me up along the way. Like, at that point, I had made a decision that I was responsible for my own pole journey. And if I wanted to see my trajectory take off in the way I desired, I needed to put in the effort to make that happen. So I learned so much. I'm now in abundance. I'm sitting in my hotel room on my birthday, looking outside of the view of downtown Chicago. I'm looking at Lake Michigan right now. I'm on Michigan Avenue. Like, I went to dinner with friends and family. Like, I have the most abundant life, and I'm so great. I low-key want to cry just because of it. Whew. Y'all, it was so okay. Chill out. Y'all, it was so dark. It was so dark back when, you know, I left the condo and my car got repossessed. Like, I struggled a lot with coming to terms with what had happened in my life. And so being here where I am today and being able to be in abundance, being able to not only be in abundance, but be responsible for my own abundance, and, you know, connect with God and do the inner work, the meditation, the journaling, like, and be disciplined. Like, I started going to the pole studio consistently like a month ago, and I already feel like so much better. Like, I have better boundaries. I have better programming. Like, I have things that I'm feeding myself, not just food, which is also a different thing, because I gained 10 pounds. I had to get back to, like, training for a sporting event. Like, I had to go back to training for pole and, you know, feeding myself only intentional things and not just, you know, eating out and doing other things. But I learned so much. First thing I learned was that you have to be in abundance in order to give. I quit my full-time job so I can be a content creator, so I can be a pole instructor, so I can be all these other things that I wanted to be. But I kept that scarcity with me. Like, I quit my full-time job because I felt like I was, you know, living paycheck to paycheck and living in scarcity, and every second was a problem and a worry. But, like, I transferred that onto my new life, which was not in scarcity. It was in abundance. But I made it scarcity because I was addicted to that emotion. So you have to start from abundance. That's my biggest learning lesson, is, like, you can't create something from nothing. You have to create with an open heart. You have to be an open channel so divine can channel through you. So that was a big one, is just to be in abundance so you can hear God, so you can, you know, be open to receive and hear your angels, your guides, your ancestors, all of the things. And they've saved me so much along these last few months, baby. It's crazy. But yeah, that's a big learning lesson. What else did I say? Like I said earlier, what you resist persists. So if you think that you're gonna just ignore not paying for your car note, or, you know, you're gonna ignore this trigger that you've been having for months, it's gonna keep coming up. It's gonna keep coming up. People are gonna keep triggering you. There are gonna be people in your lives that just come into your life just to trigger you. And it's because it's trying to come out. It's like when you cry and you try to stop yourself from crying and you get like a frog in your throat. It's because the energy is trapped. It needs to come out. Energy trapped becomes it makes you more dense. So if I have like energy just trapped in my body, it leads to disease. Like still water, disease infected. Like we have to be constantly in motion. We have to constantly be growing and advancing in order to be better, be healthier, and grow. So what you resist persists. What else would I say? Self-care. I learned so much about self-care. Like I literally have a self-care regimen. Like every Sunday I take baths. I do like gua sha on my body, on my face. I do face masks. On Tuesdays I do my nails. I always make sure like I have my nails done every 2 weeks. I do my nails. And my toes, they're the same color as this. They're so pretty. Making sure I'm doing my hair. I'm like washing my hair and taking care of my body. Like I was so much in scarcity that I wasn't even like truly taking care of myself. Maybe I was taking care of the car and I wasn't even paying for more than I was taking care of myself. So don't be like me. You need to take care of the vessel that God gave you, because if you're not doing the things to like recharge, baby, you're gonna burn out. You're gonna burn out because you're so much in your masculine. You're doing. The feminine is still. The feminine is just being energy. The feminine can be patient. The feminine can rest. The feminine can drink water and have fun and, flow. But being too much in that masculine headspace will, as a feminine woman, as a feminine energy woman, it'll kill you. Like we don't have enough testosterone or other masculine hormones to be in our masculine for long periods of time. We have them on reserve in case we're in scarcity. So yeah, self-care is so important. It's what makes us women, like being able to be expensive and high end and high value. Like in order to do that, you have to pour into yourself first. So self-care first and foremost. Self-care is the most important thing. I would say those are my big lessons. I don't want this video to be too long, but I really appreciate you guys joining to learn more about like what's going on in my pro journey, and in my life in general. This is the tea. This is what's really been going on. I haven't been able to really share this with you guys because I don't like to talk about open wounds. And this is a chapter of my life that I've definitely closed. I've left it in 2024 and I'm moving forward and I'm moving in a better trajectory. So now that I've healed and moved past it, it's fine for me to share it. It literally just rolls off the tongue. Like, yeah, my car got repossessed. Yeah, I left my condo in Atlanta and moved back into my childhood home with 10 other people. Yeah, no big deal. Baby, in October, I would have been pissed. But that is all for today. Thank you guys so much for joining this video. If there was something that shocked you, let me know in the comments down below. Honestly, this is it's great. It's a crazy story, like King Von. But yeah, if you heard anything that shocked you or surprised you, leave it in the comments below. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up. I think this will definitely help other people maybe realize some things in their own life that they could be improving and find the light. Find God, find that divine feminine energy. And make sure you subscribe to my channel and become one of the homegirls. And this year I'm posting a lot of pole affirmations, pole tutorials. I'm gonna do like talk through videos like this, but I'm also gonna be teaching and doing all the things. And I'm Pink Quartz, and this is a sacred space for women to connect with their divine feminine energy through community education and fun. And I thank you so much for joining me today. I love you guys. Have a great day. Happy birthday to me. Bye.